I'm Evelyn Brooks, author of The Dream Spinners, a novel about love, loss, and second chances. The book opens with this introduction I'd like to share with you now. The Dream Spinners is a novel about second chances, about hope, about love, about forgiveness, about the synchronicity of seeming coincidences in life, about people who are struggling with loss, regrets, and self-recrimination, told from different perspectives so that living vicariously through Gemma, Andy, Mary Beth, Mike, and others, you may, if desired, experience the full spectrum of grief, rage, confusion, despair, and, eventually, healing. There's a lot of humor in the story as well, because isn't that how life is? Even in the midst of our tragic moments, we find the antics of a toddler amusing. We appreciate the warm hug from someone who cares, even someone who is seemingly a stranger. We laugh in remembrance of things past, as Shakespeare put it. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself if there is an emotional logic behind everything we do? I believe it's the inner call for peace, love, happiness. We seek unconsciously to fill the void created by the absence of love. But in our lack of awareness, we inadvertently create problems, pain, and sorrow instead of all the joy we really want. Grief can enter our lives from many directions. When someone we love dies, or in the aftermath of severe illness, divorce, pet loss, unemployment, an empty nest, retirement, natural disaster, or a devastation such as a fire or an accident, a significant lifestyle or health change, and other varieties of swift upheaval to our regular daily routine. Other sensations of loss come from the slow, steady erosion of happiness caused by an inner dissatisfaction you can't seem to cure, and from missed opportunities, those regrets over what might have been that haunt and impede our journey. The result of any unhealed loss or grief is that we feel off balance, uncertain who we are now that the familiarity of our days has been shaken, tossed, and tumbled out in disjointed pieces. When someone you care about passes away, you may feel they are lost to you forever and that there is no more communication possible. However, you can learn to open yourself to visits with your loved ones by asking them to interact with you while you are sleeping. A visitation from a deceased loved one is not the same as having a regular dream about them, from which you awaken wondering what it was all about, because some or all of it didn't make much sense. As you come more fully awake, the dream's details grow fuzzy and then fade, leaving a vague impression that you had some sort of interaction with the person who died. You might wonder if it meant anything. If you should look for symbols in why, for instance, they turned away in the dream, or said something cruel or upsetting. If that is the sort of dream experience you've had, understand that's probably a dream created by your mind as it sorts your activities and uses the faces of familiar people to populate your nightly soap opera and to bring up issues from your subconscious mind for you to address in your waking hours. The truly meaningful sleep time visits with relatives and friends who have passed over come about because, while deep in that unconscious state, you are open to connections that are more difficult for them to achieve within the mental static and distractions of your busy life. Those who are in the non-physical state find it easier to communicate with you while you sleep. The visit may be brief, an experience in which the person embraces you, stands silently smiling before you, or says, "I love you," as if from behind you or just out of sight. You may find yourself speaking a few words to them, even though they are not speaking, and you know they understand your loving message. They may give you a specific message in words or in symbols or in a type of knowing that is meaningful to you or that proves meaningful in the coming days or weeks. In a dream visitation, you may experience a sensation of being cared for deeply that stays with you when you wake up, and you know without a doubt that your loved one was with you. You may see a symbol in your sleep, such as a butterfly, and then see the same color of butterfly the next day in an unexpected place, confirming the visit. The visit may be brief, and yet it will always be comforting. After all, when your friend or family member was alive, you didn't have to spend all day together to know you were loved. Often a quick hug or a brief phone call or text was all you needed to affirm your connection. The same holds true even though you still have a physical body while they do not. It's not the length of the visit that matters, it's how you feel about it. Loved ones never come to harm or berate or threaten you, even if the relationship when they were alive was a troubled or abusive one, but rather to leave comforting and reassuring messages and lasting impressions of their continued love and affection for you. Often these communications will include a two-way forgiveness and releasing of problems that defined your relationship with them when they were alive. If you feel uncomfortable about the idea of a dream visitation, perhaps you hold the residue of old beliefs from childhood when you were taught that devils and demons have the power to grab and hurt you even if you struggle to get away. To release that notion, before you go to sleep, visualize a protective white bubble around you that only allows in those who wish you well. Affirm this: I attract only peace, love, and harmony into my life, whether awake or asleep. When you awaken from a visitation, the episode will feel clear, and the memory of it will stay with you. Why? Because it was real. It was true. It actually happened. Dreams fade, because if they occupied a slot in our memory bank, we'd all be walking around in a state of confusion, uncertain what we had really done the day before compared to what was dreamt. The truth is, we all are eternal beings, enjoying a physical experience here on earth to create more joy and expansion while we are here, however long or short this lifetime might be. Today, with quantum physicists and other experts in the human mind delving into the relationships we share in our never-ending connectivity with each other and universal energy, controlled experiments have proven that skilled mediums do indeed communicate with people who have died. I'll let you explore this topic more if it interests you. As an author and spiritual healer, I help you release grief and stress and create happiness. I write personal development books to support change so you can heal what's important to you and feel happier. Long before I began writing nonfiction, I chose to create the story of a mother and child that would capture your imagination and make it easier to consider the idea of having your departed loved ones talk with you and visit with you while you sleep. Death is not the end of your relationships. This new release includes a special bonus. The words in this novel have been spiritually energized to uplift and comfort. You don't have to believe in anything special to feel the shift in awareness, which may be gradual or sudden. But in the reading of this book, you will be connected with the frequency that love resides on, and where all past, present, and future events and relationships coexist in joy. I hope you enjoy The Dream Spinners. It's a novel with many interwoven subplots and seeming coincidences, an exploration of different experiences with loss and bereavement and despair. But even more, it is about opening your heart to love and second chances with help from the other side. Please visit my website to claim your downloadable Serenity Gift Collection. Go to evelynbrooks.com. I'm Evelyn Brooks, and thank you.